for this episode, I think, episode 8 that came out today of Jack of All Trades, Party of None. And I really want to focus on the beginning of the episode because the rest honestly isn't really that important to the story. So what I want to specifically um, circle on is that this cutscene that we saw, this memory, this flashback of Orn, Oliver, and this girl, they're kids. And then as we saw in the memory, Orn and Oliver, they seem to be sparring. Um, for what? That's one of the questions too. Like the guy said, you after the spar was over and clearly Oliver won. Um, we pan back to the officials, and they're like, yeah, maybe like he could do it or like carry out dreams, and like even now, like I don't know exactly what that means. So that's one question as to why would they do this in the first place? And they obviously they chose the winner, Oliver, and then with Oliver something happened. I'm guessing like he got training to officially become the the nation's quote unquote hero. know, so like Oliver can start getting like backing and training from politicians at an early age. That's what I think will happen. But obviously, we'll have to wait for a more detailed explanation on what really happened. But anyways, once Oliver was taken away, there's a girl, Shion. She walks up to Orn, and as the loser, she talks to him, but she's like, it's it's kind of an understanding between Oliver, Orn, and Shion that for some reason Orn explains it why he didn't use it, his full strength, and he said it's because of the expectation of the adults, and then now he kind of forces that responsibility onto um, Oliver. But as his punishment, like he'll have to like the protect of the so-called heat. But he has a conversation with Shion, and Shion says, one day like she keeps on saying like, and it's bleeped out like we're the same, we are both. It's bleeped out, and like every time she mentions like we're the same, we came from, kind of alluding that they're kind of siblings. And I'll bring that up, but kind of she's kind of saying like we're both born very special, and it's like bleeped out as to what it is. Hopefully they tell us. Even in the beginning, after we saw like a church official, kind of like he even visits the the orph the not the orphanage, but the Adventure Guild, and says like um it's very apparent that he's very conscious of Orn. Is like what happened to Orn, and like he even after he like after what he did, he even tells us about who's like it looked like Orn like he found a way to get strong enough that he doesn't. It seems like he doesn't even have to rely on his. Or he didn't. It seemed like he didn't awaken yet. So that's one question. And it seems like I'll mention this briefly, but it seems like there's this fight between these kinds of people. We don't know what kinds they are. Probably like very special, powerful ones. But it seems like they're fighting over it between the church, like some kind of entity, probably the government. And it seems like the government has has convinced Shion that, oh, we're the good guys. Like if you side with the church, like they'll try and control you. And this is because at this point Shion doesn't even know that it's on, because as a little kid she got a confirmation, but she got a letter saying that Orn died, probably doing somewhere in battle or something. And from then on, she kind of moved like, oh, it was she kind of from that point she kind of believed like that. Oh shit, like is that so? Like even now she believes like she calls him like Dragon Slayer, and she even says like um if you are if I meet you and like she's like, oh, we'll talk it out. But if you end up being siding with the church, then I will have to kill you. So I wonder what's really happening in that. Hopefully, we get more explanation later on. But I want to circle back to the flashback. So the whole thing is like every time she insinuates or even says like we're the same, like kind of saying we're brothers or something, or we're someone special, like bleeped out. So like I said, hopefully it more explained onward. But the reason I think there might be um brothers and sisters, but for some reason um they're being kept apart by the grown-ups, and maybe it's because Orn honestly kind of looks like a child from wedlock. That would probably happen. Like as we see Sion, she has purified silver hair, and Orn has this brown hair. So to me, it would just make sense if like it was like out of wedlock. But obviously, we'll get more explanation. What I really think is happening is that probably their mother is probably you know yeah. I'm just gonna I'm gonna save that explanation for later on. But the reason I say I think after this is because the way she was notified of like his death was a letter at home. And if you see um Sion's place, it's like very upclass. She has butlers everywhere, like very apparent that she comes from high class. And like when she even gets the news, she even says that from that point on, my heart kind of froze over. Um, and it would kind of explain why they're like so close. Yeah, it would explain like why they're so close, even though they're like siblings. But yeah, I guess that was the whole episode. And like I said, it'll be interesting once they finally meet. Cause finding out Orange alive, and then this whole business with awakening. We don't know yet, and like this thing against the church. Um, I don't know what their big thing is with the church. Honestly, at this point, I don't know who is telling the truth, because from what the government people are saying, the church is controlling them, which would make sense, because church are always like in a business. But it would also make sense for the government to trick Xion, because it was honestly, it was probably the government's call to be like, yeah, let's fake um all of not all of it, but let's fake Orange's death, so like So I guess so they can have her awakened at an early age. Whereas if that didn't happen, she would have probably wakened at a later stage, like Orn. He didn't, he's not even awakened yet. So I think they did that to awaken her on purpose. But but yeah, I guess I guess to end the whole thing, um, uh, yeah, it will be very interesting, like to see who they work for. Like I said, my number one guess is probably the government, some kind of state. But um, yeah, and I guess I'll throw this in. It seems like the church kind of knows already, like specifically that guy that we saw with red eyes. It seems like he knows, and probably the church too. Like they know what Warren is like. Some, though, if I had to bet money, probably Sion and like um, Sion and Orn are like his long lost siblings, and their mother's like some kind of Amazonian warrior, or some kind of very tribal warrior, if I had to guess. Because there was that mention that like Orn didn't even awaken yet. Sorry. So I don't know. To me, it sounds like they're saying Orn hasn't awakened to his warrior instincts yet. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait for more episodes to come out because there's only episode 8. So yeah, we'll have to see what the next one has in store. But I think I'm under here. Please leave a like, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.